Have you ever wondered what would happen if we compared two countries as different as El Salvador and Venezuela? Today we will dive into an epic duel, full of surprises and controversies, that will pit these two fascinating Latin American countries against each other. So get ready for a journey full of discoveries and debates. Before we get into the subject, let's put things into context and talk about a topic that always generates interest: the beauty and diversity of its women. In both countries, the mix of cultures has given rise to beautiful and diverse women, famous not only for their appearance but also for their warmth and hospitality. But politics in Latin America has also been a constant source of controversy and passionate debate, and two of the countries that have attracted the most attention in recent years are El Salvador and Venezuela. In this video, we will explore the contrasts and similarities between these two countries, analyzing how their current leaders, Nayib Bukele and Nicolás Maduro, have influenced their respective nations. From the controversial security policies in El Salvador to the economic crisis in Venezuela, we will delve into a detailed analysis of these policies and their impacts on the daily lives of citizens. El Salvador, this small but vibrant country, is located in the heart of Central America. With a population of approximately 6.5 million inhabitants and an area of 21,000 square kilometers, it is the most densely populated country on the American continent. The official language is Spanish and its currency, interestingly, is the US dollar. At the other end of the spectrum, we have Venezuela, in the north of South America. This country has a population of around 28 million people and a vast area of 916,000 square kilometers. Its official language is also Spanish, but its currency, the bolivar, has been the subject of many economic problems in recent years. Fun fact number 5: politics, economics, and gangs. Let's start with a topic that always generates controversy: politics and economics. El Salvador, currently under the administration of Nayib Bukele, a young and charismatic president who has implemented controversial but popular measures. Bukele has gained international attention for his security policy that has significantly reduced crime rates, especially in relation to gangs such as MS-13 and Barrio Dieciaco, which have terrorized the country for decades. In addition, Bukele has surprised the world by adopting Bitcoin as legal currency, an innovative measure that has divided opinions. But is Bukele's solution truly sustainable in the long term? His heavy-handed tactics have been criticized by human rights organizations, and some fear he is undermining the country's democratic institutions. Is Bukele a visionary who will save El Salvador or an authoritarian in disguise? Venezuela has faced a political and economic crisis for years under the regime of Nicolás Maduro. Maduro's administration has been the subject of international criticism and has led the country into a difficult situation, with hyperinflation, shortages of basic goods and a mass migration of Venezuelans in search of better opportunities. Maduro remains in power amid accusations of authoritarianism and repression of the opposition. Is Maduro the villain who has plunged Venezuela into crisis, or simply the unfortunate heir to a situation that began before his term? And how does this compare to the controversies surrounding Bukele? Would you rather live under Bukele's emerging stability and innovative policies in El Salvador, or the political and economic chaos of Venezuela under Maduro? We want to hear your opinions. Who has the right approach in terms of politics and economics? Is Bukele a hero or a potential tyrant? And what about Maduro? I'd love to hear from you, so leave your thoughts below. This debate promises to be heated. I read you all. Fun fact number 4: beautiful women and the mix of cultures. Let's move on to a lighter but no less fascinating topic: the beauty and cultural diversity of its women. El Salvador, the mix of indigenous people, Europeans and Africans, has resulted in a diverse and attractive population. Salvadoran women are known for their kindness and warmth, making any visitor feel at home. Examples of famous women from El Salvador include model and presenter Luciana Sandoval and singer Alvaro Torres. Venezuela, in contrast, is world famous for its beauty queens, having won numerous international pageants. The mix of cultures here has created a standard of beauty that competes globally. Venezuelan women are known not only for their looks, but also for their poise and elegance. Famous Venezuelan women include Miss Universe Diana Mendoza and actress Gabby Espino. Is the natural beauty and hospitality of Salvadoran women more attractive than the glamour and sophistication of Venezuelan women? This part promises to be exciting. Fun fact number 3: tourism and adventures. When it comes to tourism and adventure, both countries have a lot to offer, but in very different ways. El Salvador, the country, offers everything from beach adventures to explorations of its volcanoes and natural parks. El Baqueran National Park and Lake Coatepec are must-see destinations for any adventurer. In addition, the Ruta de las Flores is a spectacular tour of picturesque towns full of culture and tradition. Venezuela. Venezuela's natural wonders are simply breathtaking. Angel Falls, the world's tallest waterfall, and Canaima National Park are destinations that take anyone's breath away. Additionally, the Los Roques Archipelago and Margarita Island are known for their beautiful beaches and water activities. I ask you, do you prefer the adrenaline and volcanic exploration of El Salvador or the majestic nature of Venezuela? What would be your ideal destination for an adventure? If you're enjoying this video and want to continue exploring the differences and similarities of other countries, please subscribe to the channel and give it a like. Does anyone know or have visited these countries? If you are from El Salvador or Venezuela, we want to hear from you. Do you agree with what we have said? Tell us about your experience and join the debate. Fun fact number 2: the beaches. Let's talk about a more relaxing topic: beaches. El Salvador has a 300-kilometer coastline on the Pacific Ocean. Its beaches such as El Tunco and El Zonte are a surfer's paradise, with waves that attract surfing enthusiasts from all over the world. But, let's be honest, El Salvador is not the first destination that comes to mind when we think of paradisiacal beaches. Venezuela, on the other hand, has a stunning 2,800-kilometer Caribbean coastline. Beaches like Los Roques and Cayo de Agua are simply spectacular, with crystal-clear waters and white sands that rival any Caribbean destination. However, political and economic instability has negatively impacted tourism in these areas. So what is better, the adventure and wild waves of El Salvador or the crystal-clear and calm waters of the Venezuelan Caribbean? Fun fact number 1: parties and traditions. Festivals and traditions are a fundamental part of any country's identity, and both El Salvador and Venezuela have celebrations that cannot be missed. El Salvador, the August fiestas in honor of the divine savior of the world are an explosion of culture and tradition that you cannot miss. The Day of the Lanterns in Ahuachapan is another vibrant celebration, full of light and color. These festivities reflect the religious devotion and the joy of living of the Salvadorans. Venezuela, the Callao Carnival and the Chinita Fair are events filled with music, dance, and joy, showcasing the festive soul of Venezuelans. These festivities are a mix of African, indigenous, and European influences, creating a unique and culturally rich experience. And now I tell you, are the Salvadoran celebrations more authentic and traditional compared to the exuberant and colorful Venezuelan celebrations? We want to know your opinion. This is a topic that will surely arouse passions since the celebrations of a region are something with a very personal opinion. Other fascinating aspects. Gastronomy. In El Salvador, pupusas are the undisputed star of the cuisine. These delicious corn tortillas filled with beans, cheese, and chicharrón are a delicacy that everyone should try. Other typical dishes include tamal de elote and atol de elote, which are a delight for any food lover. Venezuela delights us with its arepas, which can be filled with an infinite number of ingredients, with the reina pepiada being one of the most popular. In addition, the pabellón criollo and halacas, especially during Christmas, are dishes that represent the rich cultural diversity of the country. Is the simple yet delicious pupusa better than the versatile and varied arepa? Tell us which is your favorite. Religion and natural life. In El Salvador, the predominant religion is Christianity, with a strong presence of the Catholic Church. Biodiversity includes tropical forests and a rich fauna with species such as the jaguar and the quetzal. Venezuela is also predominantly Christian, with Catholicism as the main denomination. Its biodiversity is astonishing, with the Amazon and the Grand Sabana as highlights, home to countless species of flora and fauna. Security and visas. El Salvador. In terms of security, El Salvador has improved significantly under Bukele, but there are still areas that require caution. As for visas, citizens of many countries do not need a visa for short stays, but it is advisable to check specific regulations before traveling. Venezuela. Safety in Venezuela is a major concern due to political and economic instability. Travelers are advised to take extreme caution and stay informed about the local situation. For most countries, a visa is required to enter Venezuela. Is it safer to travel to El Salvador under Bukele than to Venezuela under Maduro? And what about visa requirements? We want to hear your experiences and opinions. Conclusion we draw. We've come a long way, from politics and economics to the natural and cultural beauties of El Salvador and Venezuela. Both countries have their own charms and challenges, and what we've discussed today only scratches the surface. The real question is, which country do you prefer?